There it is. Where we go. There we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We in there.
Yeah, what's up, people? What's up, chat? How y'all doing? Listen, across the country, the lawns are waking up, but not at the same speed. Cool season. I know y'all think it's spring. It's not. Warm season is still sleeping. We over here, we're dormant. And transition zone, as we always know, is always confused. No change there. Tonight, we're
It's
going to
about to
talk
get
about.
it's about to get real confused next week.
I'm about to get real confused next week. And tonight we're breaking down what's really happening under the soil, answering those questions to help put you at ease a little bit and just give you a little bit of insight. That's what we're here to do. So without further ado, we're gonna get into it because we respect your time just as much as ours. And we're gonna start with cool season. That's our topic one, just to give you an overview. We're going to go from cool season. We're going to give you some key points and some things that you should be thinking about. We're going to move to the transition zone, and then we're going to move to warm season zone. Not too many channels out here can do that for you. Just throw that out there, shameless plug. But we're going to cover all those things for you. Drop your questions and concerns in the chat. Just like last time, we're going to get after them towards the end for the sake of keeping the flow of the conversation moving. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
So let's go ahead and talk. Let's go ahead and talk cool season.
Yeah, when the cool season lawns actually start waking up, Cam? What are we looking for?
It depends. Is what it's gonna be. Is for one, it's going to depend on your location, what you're dealing with there, and it's going to depend on the season, right? It's not a set calendar date that, boom, at this date, your cool season lawn is going to start waking up, or any lawn is going to start waking up.
Facts.
So it is going to vary season after season. But like we talked about last week, being able to use Greencast, it kind of gives you that historical data to where you can kind of start ballparking when you're actually gonna start reaching those soil temps and things are gonna start moving. And that point is gonna be around that 50-degree mark Fahrenheit. That is. So soil temp, not air temp. So we're going to be making sure that when things start to get around that 50-degree mark, that's when you're going to start seeing things are going to start greening up, not necessarily growing a lot, but you're going to get start to see things to green up. The soil microbial activity is going to start to move a little bit. That's been dormant all winter due to the temperatures and all of that. So life is going to start to change a little bit around that 50-degree mark. And then when you get a little bit higher than that, 55 plus, that's when you're going to start to see things start to germinate. That's including weed seeds, whether you did a dormant seeding, grass seeds, all of that kind of stuff. That temperature range is going to vary. Some of them will germinate earlier than others, but when you start to get above that 55-degree soil temp mark, that's about when things are gonna start to really start to grow from a cool season perspective. Life really starts to take off at that point.
Agreed. Agreed. Let me ask you this though. When I hit that 50-degree soil temp, is it time to start fertilizing up in cool season world?
Nah, not quite, not quite, not quite, not quite, not quite.
Right.
You can hold off on that, but one thing, the real thing to do around that time is making sure you're getting your pre-emergent out.
That part.
Pre-emergent is that's going to be your goal. Typically, any lawn coming out of a winter, the first thing you should get down is gonna be your pre-emergent. Fertilizer, you want to make sure when you get ready to start fertilizing that the plant is ready to uptake that nutrient, right? You know, if it's not actively growing, which normally around that 50-degree mark, things aren't really actively growing at that point. So let the lawn go ahead and wake up, get a mow or two on it, maybe even get your first charity mow on it, get you another mow on it after that to kind of clean stuff up. And then you'll probably be ready for your fertilizer at that point because you'll for sure be growing then.
Yeah, if anybody wants to you have a pretty quick demonstration with that, I mean, we could look at Greensboro, North Carolina, just to kind of give you an idea.
Oh, look at Greenville because I was hoping you was gonna do
Greenville.
this. Yeah, I wanted to do this. I was gonna ask
Uh,
you. We ain't had no pre-show at all on this one today,
nah,
folks.
we had to kind of just
Um,
roll straight into it.
so I wanted to do this, dude, because I was looking at my pops, and this will kind of help us jump into the warm season talk too. So
Hmm.
as we start to do that one,
And really, Pops is almost well, he's more so transition zone anyway. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I think the biggest takeaway that we want to remember from the cool season world is going to be something of the effect of, most cool season lawns are going to wake up slowly. Timing mistakes now affect the entire season. Meaning, if you are late on your pre emergent, that's going to affect the rest of your season. If you go out too early with nitrogen, there could be some repercussions there when it comes to increasing your odds for fungus, especially during those hot, humid mornings that you're going to have in some of those lower states in the cool season climate. Um, and really, that's still the transition zone where you are too, right? Cam, Maryland is
yeah,
technically
yep,
in the
yeah,
transition zone, so
yep,
it's soppy and it's just something to consider. So, you guys can keep on twiddling your thumbs a little bit. You don't have too much time to be dragging your feet, but you still got a little bit more time to drag your feet. But
yeah. So,
just
so
just so
for
go ahead.
no, no, I was gonna say for us a little further north, even in the transition zone, I would say Maryland's probably upper transition zone, like on the upper bound of that transition zone. From here up, we still got a little bit of time. I mean, if you looked at our soil temps around here, like we still barely above freezing right now. I know I'm not putting any pre-emergent down because I can't even see my lawn right now. So there's no reason for me to be thinking about getting a pre-emergent out right now. We've been snow, ice cap covered for the past 3 weeks now. It's probably been it's been 3 weeks. It's probably been about 3 weeks now.
That's crazy.
Um, so we've still got some time. Like our soil temps have not gotten there yet.
I meant this
Um, it may be later than what we typically go to. I typically don't get a pre-emergent down till maybe early March, mid March, unless things really change around here.
that's
I don't think we in a hurry right now.
yeah. March, mid March sounds right for your area. It's go time for us down here, but we'll get to that. Uh, Greenville, South Carolina. Just so y'all can see this tool, and if you're not familiar with it and you don't know what you're quite looking at, pay attention to the key, the legend down at the bottom. That blue line, that light blue line, that's for 2026, right? That's what we got there, 2026. And then we got our 5 year average. And if you hover over it, look at that. It'll highlight, pop it out for you. Isn't that cool? I'm pretty sure that's an update. I don't know if it always did that. But
It did not. It
right.
updated. That was a last year update. That was the
Yeah.
last year update.
And you got your 5 year average and then you got your 10 year average. So you can see where we currently are with soil temps in Greenville, South Carolina. And we've only been there for 3 days. So this is a good opportunity where you're like, okay, I see where the soil temps at. They keep telling me to watch out for this 50-degree window. And if you look at this trend based off where you were supposed to be for the 10-year mark anyway, 5 to 10 year mark anyway, we look here. And yeah, we were a little bit off when it comes to this model when we're looking at, a few days ago, but look how fast it's jumping back up. And then once you do that, you go and you look at your weather and you're just like, okay, are
Mhm.
we trending continuously up? Are we going to maintain this? Is this consistent? And if it is, then it's go time. So that's kind of
Yep.
a simple, easy way of using this tool. You can put in your zip code if you want to, or just put in city and state. And as you can see here in Greenville, I know what that weather looks like next week. And that means it's time. It's time to get a pre-emergent out. It's time to do a winter cleanup if you need to, and go ahead and get your pre-emergent down. That's the power of this free, very free tool. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I was during my I couldn't sleep last night. Uh, it just dawned on me. I was like, yeah, I should probably check and see what pop soil temp is in Greenville, North Carolina. Say, huh, let me check and see where it's at. That spike is crazy.
Crazy. Just jumped out of nowhere.
Crazy. Like I think his soil temps today was like 54 today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the day couple days before. It went from like 34
Uh-huh.
to like 45 to like 50 to like 53. Like so
Yeah, we
like
can see it. It's crazy. It
their
was,
jumps is their jumps has been crazy.
what, 10 days ago, y'all were
Oh,
45.
that's South Carolina. Do North
Oh, this,
Carolina.
I meant, see, I put in the
Pops
wrong
jumps,
thing.
their jump spikes even faster than that. That jump is gonna be
Shoo,
crazy. Look at that joint.
shoo. So it's like January, the end of January, they were down, almost got freezing temps.
Hmm.
And then 12 days later, they're hitting 53.
Yep. And then you can look at the 5-day average where that's hovering at. And then, like you said, I went and looked at the forecast. The forecast, they got like 3, 4 days in the seven in the like 3 days in the 70s next week, 2 or 3 days in the 70s.
It's coming.
And the rest of the days are in like the mid 60s. So
It's
you know
coming.
what I told Pop? You know what I told Pop today? I called him at lunchtime and I was like, "Hey, bro." It's
It's
go
time.
time.
It's time.
It's go time.
It's time. It's time.
It is go time. And then
Uh,
too, looking at not only temperature, but rainfall, right? Rainfall to get that pre-emergent watered in,
yeah, if you're
especially
not
at this point
irrigated.
most people don't have their irrigation on yet. So you want to make sure that you're timing it around some rainfall so you can go ahead and get that pre-emergent watered in because that's what's going to activate the active ingredient in it to go ahead and do what it's supposed to do. So make sure you're timing that around some rain. Pops and them have got rain coming in Saturday night into Sunday, a little bit on Monday. So more than likely they're gonna get rain this weekend. So I was like, yeah, looking at y'all temperatures next week and where your current soil temps are, go ahead and drop that.
Yeah,
Go
go
ahead and
ahead,
drop that.
drop that beat. Drop that beat. Yeah, drop that beat. But yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Now, sliding in since we've been dancing all around it for the transition zone, the turf identity crisis area that we got to deal with. Some of the common questions that I've been seeing out there is my Bermuda dead or is it dormant? Should I treat weeds yet? Can I still see the fescue? Why does my lawn look half alive? And there's a few different answers to that, right? I'll tackle one at a time. Bermuda, it's not dead. It shouldn't be dead. Unless you put too much salt on it because y'all got too much snow, then it might be dead. But it's going to look dead, and it's just because it's dormant. It's sleeping. It's not dead. Should you treat weeds? Well, yes, and maybe not. Because if you're planning on doing some type of seeding, which I don't recommend, but if you got to get it done, you got to get it done. You want to be careful to look at that label to see how much residual time you have to give it before you get that seed in the ground. Another thing that you want to consider is if you have a mixed
You're
lawn,
talking cool season seeding.
we're talking cool season seeding. Correct. Yes. Thank you for the clarification. If you're warm season seeding, you still probably got until I would say March, late March, before you want to get that out. But if you're looking to try to seed some fescue, you're warm enough already to go ahead and get that done if you got some spot seeding that you need to do. And if you are, if your lawn's looking half alive, it's probably because you got a mixed bag. You probably got your half cool season, and then the other half is Bermuda, or it's thinking about waking up. But like Cam said, if you know that you have a cool season lawn and you're in the transition zone, I would rather you worry about getting the pre-emergent down, cleaning up some weeds right now, some winter weeds. That's really all you should be dealing with right now, and giving it a charity mow. The reason why I like the charity mow, one or two charity mows, is that way you have a visual indication of whether or not you're actually actively growing. And once you see that you're actually actively growing, then you can get to the part that you want to do, which is feed it. You want to fertilize it. You want to start pushing it. You know what I mean? So, like, just know that just because your lawn is green in color, it doesn't mean that you have active growth. Soil temp is what's going to control that. We already say for cool season lawns, you're looking for 50 to 55 degrees before they start waking up in the soil. And then for warm season lawns, you're looking to be closer to 60, 65 in the soil before that root system starts waking up. And then you'll start seeing those shoots start popping and developing from there. Now, when we are talking about the difference between split applications when it comes to pre-emergent over one one and done, um, I always lean on the side of split applications because it's going to give you more longer coverage. One of the highest, longest residual pre-emergence out there is going to be your prodiamine. That's going to be the backbone of almost all of the programs out there. That's going to get you the most residual in your soil. So you would look at trying to hit that target temperature with half the rate. Then you wait another 6 to 8 weeks. and then you go again. I say 6 to 8 weeks, but you're really just waiting for another 10 to 15 degree boost in the soil. So again, we're giving you time frames, but this is more temperature driven than anything else. Um, Spring overseeding mistakes outside of accidentally putting down a pre-emergent in spring, and not allowing yourself enough residual. Cam, could you think of another spring seeding mistake that people may make in the transition zone that we can kind of help
Spring
them?
seeding.
Yeah, spring overseeding
Uh,
mistakes.
I would say we briefly mentioned it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to take care of weeds and seed, even with a post emergent, right? There's a period. Most post emergent herbicides have a window to where you're not recommended to seed to impact that germination.
Yep.
So trying to take care of weeds and then seed right then after, typically that's not gonna turn out too well. I would say other mistakes would be waiting too late to do a spring seeding, right?
Especially for
Because this
cool
is this
season.
this yeah, for cool season, waiting too late in the season to try to do that spring seeding. And the reason I say that is because the closer we get to summer, the closer that cool season grass does not like the temperatures that it's about to get exposed to,
At
even
all.
the mature grass. So imagine grass that's only a couple of weeks old, and then you put it out there and it gets beat down with 80, 85, 90, 95 degree heat in the sun. It ain't gonna turn out too well.
No.
It just is what it is. I don't care how much water you put on it. It's just not gonna establish itself. So waiting too late, you want to get that seed down as soon as you kind of hit that 50-degree mark or even start getting close to it. That way, even if it's a little early and it takes longer to germinate, it's going to be there. It's going to take off at this earliest possible time
Mm-hmm.
for it to start germinating. And
Mm-hmm.
then when that happens, it now gives you the longest period of establishment time before it hits that crucial period in the summertime where it's strap in, hold on, and buckle up and let let it ride. Um, the other thing that I would say is maybe if you've got some bare spots and things that you're trying to repair, not doing a proper ground prep before putting that seed down. This is not one of those things where you just kind of go throw the seed out there and leave it laying there on the top and you're going to be all good. A lot of times, the proper ground prep is going to help increase those chances of that germination happening early and getting more germination to help it establish. So, what would I recommend for proper ground prep? If you're doing an overseeding, y'all know my favorite tool, that garden
Garden
weasel,
weasel.
that garden weasel or cultivator. Go ahead and take that and get in and loosen up that soil, break up some of that soil a little bit, get that seed down in there, and then roll back over it again to work that seed into the soil. Seed to soil incorporation, like seed to soil contact is one thing, but incorporating the seed into the soil, it just helps hold the moisture around that seed. It helps keeps it protected. It keeps that moisture there, and it just keeps that seed in place for a better opportunity for germination and establishment. Which during the spring, you need all the help you can get.
Agreed. I would argue that if you are, I'm just see if they got any images that may look pretty cool. If you're in the cool season, if you're in the transition zone, I would give up on cool season because it's not getting no cooler, y'all. It's just gonna get hotter. You find yourself every spring needing to put down more and more seed. Just deal with the golden bronze yard during the winter. And if you don't like that, just overseed it and
Paint
then kill it. And then you got your perfectly fine yard for the rest of the season. That's what I would
or
recommend. Stop.
or just paint it.
Okay, yeah, this might look, or just paint it like he said. So we're looking for good seed to soil contact. This is when you just throw the seed out, right? This is a good example
That's what it's gonna
of
look there.
it is a lot of seed on this soil surface. That's not what it should
Yep.
look like when it's done. It
That's
should
seed
look
to
like
soil.
that once you spread it. But once you incorporate it into the soil properly, you you should be trying to find the seed. You should, you should be feeling like, man, maybe I didn't put enough, you know.
Yep. Yep. And that's always the question.
And
That's
it's all
always
like,
the
oh
question
man,
right
I'm
there.
trying
He's
to
like, I
find
I
one.
know I put
This
enough
one's a little
down.
better. Yeah, see, this one looks like either they didn't put a lot in there or they already started to fold that seed into the
Hmm.
soil. And you can use a cultivator to do that. One thing that I found, oh, we were using this. Didn't you use the little for
The
the seed?
power rate.
Yeah, the power
Yep.
rake. So those power rakes, you can actually
Yep.
use those to fold that seed in as well. I think when I did that, right? Didn't I, like, I did that in
You did
Germany
it to
on
your
one?
back. You did it to your back. You did it to your backyard, and you had crazy good germination
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
did uh the iconic from
Yep.
Mountain View Seed.
Yep. That's exactly what happened. Yep. And I had crazy germination. It was way better than dragging a rake. So
Yep.
yeah, if you have one of those, what is it?
The Sun Joes.
Greenworks or the Sun Joe power
Yep. Those
rakes.
work.
That is a way to fold it into the soil, and it's going to make you feel like you're making a mistake. I felt like I was making a mistake when I did it, but the
Yeah.
germination was so much better than the front yard in comparison, and it wasn't because of the microclimate. It was because it was incorporated into the soil that much better. All right, so
I,
just keep
when
that in
when I
mind.
started when I started doing that, like I felt like I had found a cheat code. Like I was like,
It saves so much time
yeah,
too.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. I was like, yo, this is the germination that you get off of it, and the uniformity that happens, and like you
looks really
don't
good.
look like it just I was like, why is nobody doing this? Like, why is everybody struggling with this? Like it just felt like it was a cheat code to get seed to grow. It was like it once you did that, put water on it, and the seeds just like boom. Use a good
Pop.
quality seed from Mountain View. Hey man, you get that elevated lawn mix out there and the Elm Street Elite. You good to
Bow.
go. Bah,
Bow.
bah.
In there, like swimwear. So yes, incorporating that seed into the soil, if you're doing the spring seeding, is the one of the most important things that you can do. And hopefully we gave you a good idea of what you're looking for. And now you got a cheat code to know how you can really get that work then,
And
for an
I'm gonna go
affordable
ahead
price.
and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get ready. This is what I'm working on in the background. I am going to drop it in the chat. I actually made a video
Huh.
of how I do that.
All right.
So I'm gonna jump over to the chat and I will drop a link to that in the chat for y'all. So y'all
Yeah,
can go
drop it
check
in
that
the
out.
you drop it in the chat, and then I'll pull it up so y'all can see it without even having to go to it. But still go to it and hit the subscribe and like button if you ain't already have done so. But I'll
Yes,
show it
we
to
would
y'all
we
too
would
while we in here.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. So transition zone. It's a soup sandwich, man. It is not necessarily, especially when you're in the heat of it, in the middle of it. So I definitely recommend maybe trying to work with nature a little more rather than just trying to do what all the other cool kids are doing. Make better decisions. not just for your pockets, but for the environment as a whole. Trying to fight against what nature actually wants to do may not be the best thing long term anyway. Now we come to the greatest season of all, the greatest, the most wonderful, the most forgiving, and the most performing.
Here
Uh,
he goes with all the most, doing the most.
y'all can keep them stripes and that poa, because we don't got them
He
problems
said the
down here.
straight said the pole.
Keep them stripes and that poa. Keep them both for yourself. We don't want it. But nah, for real. See, I got boom. Okay, look, that came up quick. I didn't expect that to happen. We got that real internet now. So we'll let that play so y'all can see that. Uh, yeah, we can still see a good bit of that. Boom. Okay, yeah, let's just do it like that. Let's just do it like that. But let me see. Let's pop. Can I pop it out? We'll just leave it like that. So I'm sure he's gonna break it down. But warm season zone. When you get into the warm season zone, the things that we are concerned about right now, our soil temperatures are getting, they're there. Our soil temperatures are ready to go. This is a beautiful time for you to go out, clean up the yards. If you're dealing with, typically you should see a lot of winter weeds right now. I'm getting distracted by the video, so actually we're just gonna check this out. Talk us through this, Cam. What are we looking at?
Uh,
Narrate your own video. Curate your own video.
so what you were saying, this is germination, couple of days. If you can pause it,
Yeah,
run it back to that first B roll.
the first one. Okay.
Um, it should be back a couple seconds, just back from that.
Yeah. Here. Yeah.
So that was the seed prior to incorporation, right?
I can
This
see
is
it.
you can see the amount of seed that's on top of the soil.
That seed, y'all.
That's
That right there. These little things right here. That's the seed.
yeah.
That's
So
that's the seed.
you can see all of the seed that's there. Boom, I got the right rate that I'm looking for. I know the seed is there. And then if you fast forward
Look at the
to that
seed right
next
there.
B-roll clip, you'll start to see where the germination has all how uniform and quick the germination has come in. Like it's
Boom.
this is probably 4 to 5 days later, already getting germination from it. Like it uniform across, and you don't see a whole lot of seed on top of the soil. You
Mm-mm.
just now see now sprouts are starting to come up. Like
Mm-hmm.
you've got that germination there. And if you fast
Oh, I like this
forward,
one
so
right here.
there's the garden weasel,
Wow.
um,
That's a
using
perfect
the
example.
cultivator. So on the left hand side, you can see prior to incorporation. After that, now you can see how that seed is then incorporated into the soil, right near the soil surface, but also just below it and incorporated into it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's one of the things is making sure that you're getting that seed incorporated into the soil. And if you fast forward a little bit further, I think I start showing. Um, so there's the option of being able to slit seed it. There's a clip that I stole from Pete,
Oh,
incorporating
okay.
again, incorporating that seed into the soil. And here you go again, using the dethatcher if you were going to be able to use that as an option. Just the good Sun Joe being able to do it, and then you also have the professional option, which kind of it does the exact same thing, but you can get a little bit more efficiency out of using that gas one.
Yeah. So if not just spring seeding, but seeding across the board, you or food
Yeah, because
plots,
this was
right?
in the fall. This was last fall.
Right. Or food plots. Even if you're doing food plots, you're
Hmm.
gonna want to make sure that you get this stuff incorporated into the soil.
Which is what I'm about to be doing in about another month or so.
Oh, and this is the pro one that you ran, right?
Yep,
The
yep, that was the Billy Goat, power rake that I used to do that one. Uh, this yard turned out good. It took about 3 weeks,
do
and,
you
like,
have the
the way
results
this
in this
yard
video?
uh,
Nah, probably because you was just focusing on
I think I did it right then. That was I released this right when I was doing it, but that's what that yard looked like, and I
sheesh.
think I got it in another video. I can't remember where it's at, but I got it in another video of how quickly that turned around. It was like 4 weeks, and all of it was back pristine, like, just lush. I can't wait for it to take off this year because 'cause it's got a lot more of that Elm Street Elite in it now.
There you go. Get you some. Get you some. So yeah, shifting back to warm season, I think y'all should be very confident when it comes to seeding and making sure it's incorporated into the soil right now. We gave it to you, we talked about it, showed you a couple videos. But yeah, you should not be fertilizing your yard right now unless you're a wild man who's about to try to grow perennial rye all season long or
Yeah.
something like that. Or you got a
What, so when you start talking warm season,
mm-hmm.
uh, what region or state-wise, or give them an idea of
Where is that
where
image at?
where are you talking right now?
Let me pull it up and buy me a couple minutes to
Yep.
do that.
So, with that, if you decide that you're gonna be able to go you're gonna try to grow perennial or cool season, some type of grass like that down in the South, uh, just under or in a warm season climate, I just understand the challenges and things that you're up against. But as Turf is talking about warm season, uh, your pre-emergent, as we get into talking about that, your pre-emergent um, regimen can be a little different, right? Because you're typically, unless you're planning to do a fall overseed with a cool season grass, you don't really have to worry about a fall seeding, right? So you're going to want to do a spring pre-emergent and then also a fall pre-emergent as long as you have had that lawn established for a year or so or a growing season. You're going to make sure you're going to want to get down your spring pre-emergent and a fall pre-emergent. So here you go, Turf. I guess you got it. You got it
Yep.
up right
Yeah, I
now.
got it up. And technically, now that I'm looking at this map, I'm in the transition zone. Technically. But
Yeah,
this
you
app
are in the upper. You're in a little higher up in South Carolina.
yeah, I'm a little higher up inside. I'm like right above where it becomes warm season, but I promise you, it feels like warm
Mhm.
season down here. We grow like it's warm season down here, and the maps in general could probably use some updates. They haven't been updated in a while. So that's what we're looking at. We got our cool season territory up here. You remember we were talking about Maryland, how Maryland was kind of on the cusp, and depending on where you were, you would easily get pushed up into the cool season and the transition zone. It just really depends. If you're that close to that border, though, I would lean favor towards the border above you, like I'm going to favor towards the border below me, just because that's what makes sense based on my grass type, you know. But and then right here you got the armpit of America. Pick your state. I'm sure you know where
Hmm.
you live. I hope you know where you live. A little bit of geography. And then South Carolina through Georgia and all through Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, Texas. You know, that's where it's just hot, hot, hot. So this is a good visual indication. There's plenty of maps out there like this, but they're not quite like ours. This is our map. So as you can see, we got the little we working logo up there. But yeah. You said I just use a chain harrow, not raking acres. It will just have to do. You know, a chain harrow
That,
scares me. That might pick up a lot of extra material unless you're using like that fine one. What are
yeah,
you about to say,
you're
bro?
fine. Depending on how you're so if you're talking a lawn
Mm-hmm.
and you've prepped it and you're doing like I mean, I wouldn't need to do a harrow if it wasn't bare ground, right?
Mhm.
There's no point in using a harrow drag if it's not bare ground.
Just in case
But
people.
if you're talking like a food plot or something, or if you're talking a large portion, a large acreage, yeah, just flip. I mean, because the harrow drag, you can actually flip it over and not have the tines down, so that it just kind of drags across. It's the same thing as a rake. Right, that's all it is. It's the exact same thing. The problem is if you've got a lot of debris that those tines and stuff catch on, then it can your seed distributions may get a little disturbed at that point. But if you're dealing with bare soil, knock it out. Like I that's what I plan to do with my food plots. Like my food plots, I plan for them to be clean, and I'm probably going to end up having to spend a whole lot of money to get them that clean. But I plan for them to be clean
Great for
and for me
food
to be able to
plots.
do exactly that.
Yep. It's a great for food plots. Harold can be flipped over to act as a drag mat. And see,
Yep,
that was my only concern, like because I know I have this heavy duty one, and you see all that material that's stuck up in it. That would
yep,
be my concern if the ground is not properly prepped.
yep,
Um, that would be
yep.
my only. That's my only. I'm sure you know what you're doing, Jay. Um, but I don't want somebody to see that and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll just do that," and then they're mad because we didn't tell them that, hey, there's some give and take with this. So you want to make sure that you're being aware and careful and you're paying attention. But great
Yeah,
tool to have
I love mine.
in the
I've
Rolodex.
definitely got food plots in with it. I plan to do a full 2-acre food plot with it here in probably another month or so. I'm ready to get
Nice.
that going. I got a lot of money to spend.
Who you telling? Who you telling? Well, yeah,
Sheesh.
there's the map again for y'all. So,
It's
so
time to go enjoy it's time to go enjoy life, man. We work hard enough. We
right,
always working. That's why
always
we
working,
working here. Hey,
always
we got it's
working.
time to go enjoy some of it.
Right. So yeah, like we said, down here in this warm season section, uh, this is not the time to fertilize. This is, however, the time to go and spray some weeds while you're dormant. And depending on what your grass type is, you might be able to get away with something, herbicide that you wouldn't regularly be able to use had your lawn not been dormant. So I won't get too much into the weeds of that. Just know that the label will tell you. It'll be on the label for sure. And like I mentioned earlier, 65-degree soil temperature is what we're really looking for before growth is going to begin. Visible growth on top where you start seeing some new shoots develop. And I think it's a really good time to talk about scalping, right? Because
Mhm.
I don't think, and let me double check before I misspeak because I am new to this region, but all warm season grasses will not tolerate too much scalping. I think what is it? Centipede doesn't care
I
too
can tell
much.
you St. Augustine for sure not.
And I think centipede is the other one too. I think you're
Centipede is
good
prob
with zoysia.
yeah,
But
yep,
I think you're good with zoysia. I think you're
yep.
good with
I know
like
you're good with
we know we good with
Bermuda.
Bermuda. You can scalp it to the dirt when it comes to Bermuda.
Yep.
Um but let me see.
Those are the main ones
I
that
think
we
so.
have here
I'm curious about the centipede. And let me just go and
because
see if I can find some.
it doesn't have as deep rhizomes. Like it's got more stolons on the top surface, which is similar to like the St. Augustine. Yes, they do have some rhizome, but they're more stoloniferous than they are with the rhizomes like the Bermuda and the zoysia.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm seeing on the Clemson site, it's saying, for centipede, scalp it, but scalp it lightly. And it's not
Yeah,
when I say scalp, I'm talking to the dirt. That's what most people are talking about. They're saying, you know, you don't want to go below a half inch, essentially,
yeah.
not to the dirt. And
When you're cutting at when you're already maybe cutting it at an inch, like you
right.
saying take like a half, you take like a half inch off of it, like
Exactly. Yeah. So
so.
you're going to reduce by half of whatever your
Yeah, yeah,
typical cutting height is. I'm glad. Yeah,
yeah,
that's why it's two of us. So if you're at 2 inches, bring it to an inch, and you're not going to want to do that, especially with centipede once it is already fully green. That's not what you're going to want to do. After it's awake, you kind of got what you got. You want to walk it down, work it down. You can do that, but you go too aggressive, and centipede is going to be
yeah.
very slow to
It's
recover.
yeah, yeah.
Very, it does not rebound like Bermuda does. And
No,
St. Augustine, you were right, Cam. Do not scalp it.
yeah, don't yeah.
Has thick stolons that grows above the ground. Does not respond well to heavy scalping. Can easily stress it the heck out. Gradually lower the mowing height over 2 to 3 cuts in the early spring. Normal height cut somewhere between 2.5 and 4 inches. Remove the dead material. Another tip: if you can, bag it. That help you, be able to remove that dead
Yeah,
material without raking it all up. And if you're going to do anything, they say you can do some light verticutting. Um, but yeah, hard scalping will expose stolons, increase weed pressure, delay your green up, and invite plenty of disease. So, um, very different strategies when it comes to waking that lawn up as we projected. And I'm glad I stopped to kind of think about that because I typically deal with Bermuda lawns, and I know you can do it
yeah,
with zoysia because my neighbor has zoysia, and I have accidentally scalped their lawn by cutting mine a couple of times. Like, oops, my bad. But then I looked, I'm like, it looked like y'all should probably scalp y'all yard, man, like
yeah.
because it's going back.
Zoysia is good for it. Like
Yeah,
Zoy and then too, Zoysia gets so thick. Like
yeah,
it I think it would benefit. I think most Zoysia lawns would really benefit
from a little thinning.
from it because that Zoysia grows thick, boy.
Mm-hmm.
It grows thick.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. And so that timing is important. For us Bermuda folk, you want to look and start just look at the plant down close to the ground. When you start seeing new shoots come out, you know that and then you have your weather trend is looking good, and you know that you're at 60, 65 degrees soil temperature. Yeah, you can go ahead and go for it. You can go ahead and go for it. Give you a light top dressing and some sand if you sand capping. That's going to help it warm up quicker and encourage that growth to come back even quicker as well. And of course, you'll have a smoother lawn for doing that as well, especially if you're real
Yep.
mowing.
I think Professor Trio just said he was like, I scout my Zoysia in the transition zone.
Boom. There you go. I think people around here, I don't, when I look at a lot of these really nice yards that have zoysia, I'm pretty sure they've never been thinned out, they've never been scalped, and they kind of
Yeah.
just sitting at 3 inches, 3 to 4
Nobody does.
inches.
Nobody like on the average home lawn. Nobody does that.
Nah, 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 not at all. So, yeah,
But
that's what
just
you want to be
imagine
looking
how
for.
much better those lawns would look. Like
If they
just
did it, I know what it
yeah,
would. I know how it would look because I scout my neighbor's shop. I'm surprised they haven't looked and been like, "Yo, why does this look better than that?" They probably haven't put it together because they don't cut their grass. They got someone that
yeah.
comes
They ain't
through and
even walked out there and seen it. They ain't
yeah,
even
they
paid no
probably ain't even
attention
seen
to
it.
it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But it's one thing that's definitely going to be happening in all three of the zones is you're going to have root activation before visible green foliage on the top. So when we're talking about these soil temperatures are driving that root activation. Once the roots get going, they feel like they have enough nutrients. That's when the plants will start to produce some brand new green foliage for you. And then from there, like we said, if you're on the cool season realm of things, you're going to want to give a couple charity mows. That way you can verify that you're actively growing. because some yards may not have gone fully dormant, or your eyes might be playing tricks on you just because you're so excited about getting out there. You know what I mean? You're like, it looks like it's greened up a little bit. It's not. It's not. That's just you're tired and you're ready for the winter season to be over. That's what that is. Um, yeah. So main takeaway for our warm season areas is, you know, what you do before your green up is going to determine a good portion of your season, just like what you do before your green up in the cool season realm is going to determine what the rest of your season looks like too. More importantly for us though, we're about to come into a lot of weed pressure. We're about to start seeing crabgrass, goose grass, and if you don't get the timing right on those two things, they're a pain in the butt for the rest of the year. So you got to if you miss your pre-emergent window, you need to get out there with
especially in
something
the
like
cool
some.
season, especially in the cool season.
Yeah, yeah. You need to get out there. Like we have more flexibility in the warm season world, especially if you have Bermuda. You can get out there late and still get after stuff. But if you're in the cool season, if you have cool season grass, you're not as in a forgiving position at all whatsoever. So you're gonna definitely want to make sure that you keep an eye on that for sure. Um, so the goal every time that we come up here is to educate y'all, to hope that we're clarifying timing, making sure that we're setting expectations properly, um, and answer your engaging questions. So, Cam, if you don't mind, could you just recap us for the cool season and transition zone for the people that may have just stepped into the room? And while Cam is doing that, I'm going to start looking at the comments. And if y'all have any questions, please drop them in there so we can get after them, because we're coming up on about our 1 hour mark in about 8 minutes. So we want to make sure that we get in the chat and tend to your questions.
Yep. All right. So looking at cool season, if you got a cool season lawn, and we're gonna start with the cool season zone. Like so, say you're Maryland North and you're up there with a cool season lawn, we still got a little bit of time. We still got a little bit of time before we're gonna be active and we're gonna be out there in the lawn. But your first application is gonna be your pre-emergent. So we're looking at that around that 50-degree soil temp mark. That's when we're going to be looking for that over a series of probably 5 days ish, and then looking at what your future temps are going to be trending like to make sure you're going to hold those soil temps or at least trending upward. So we still got a little bit of time. It's probably going to be early, depending on where you are and how the conditions go, maybe mid March ish, early March ish, if you want to go early. So just make sure you're following your soil temp. We dropped the information with Greencast last week, and we talked about it here. Greencast online, you can track your soil temps and stuff there. If you're in a transition zone, even on cool season or warm season, it's getting close to go time. It's getting close to go time, especially if you're on the East Coast. Like I said, I told my pops on his warm season, hey, go ahead and drop that this week. They got some good rain and stuff coming in. If you're in that kind of, I wouldn't say the light green right there in the middle between there. If you're in that, that's what we call the transition zone, where you may have cool season or warm season. It's about go time for you in the next couple of weeks, maybe probably in the next 2 weeks, probably for you to get ready to go ahead and get that down. My pops is right there in North Carolina, kind of smack dab in the middle of it, and I told them it's go time based on their current soil temps and what their future forecast looks like. So if you're down there in the South, I know a lot of people that want to grow cool season grass or that are growing cool season grass in Texas. I don't know why. I don't know why so many people in Texas want to or are growing cool season grass. But if you are, just go ahead and drop a peer emergent because you probably got weeds year round at that point. Um, but a lot of I do get a lot of questions about growing cool season grass in Texas. Not would not be my choice, and I talk to people about it. I just I don't understand to me the battle is too much of a battle. Like it is
No.
like lawn care would not be enjoyable because you're just battling the elements trying to force a grass to grow in a climate and a environment that it does not want to be in. Um, there's just an easier way to do it. It's just a whole lot easier way to do it, which is a warm season grass. Something like iron cutter, get you some Tahoma, get you some celebration, get you something else besides the cool season grass. So that's what I got for a cool season.
Yeah, that's pretty solid there. We got a Italian Milan 41. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
What's happening?
Looks
What's happening?
looks like you're looking forward to sprigging your backyard with Bermuda. Still trying to find a grower closer to where I live. And that's what you meant right now. You got to drive 4 hours. I had to drive 2 hours
You,
for what I was looking
you
for.
know
What you
what
looking for?
grower? You know what grower he looking for?
Yeah, what you looking for? You looking for the iron cutter, ain't you? Yeah,
You
good
know what
choice.
grower he
Yeah,
looking
good
for?
choice. Hey, it's worth the drive, bro. But you know what? Ask them how much it is to deliver it. It's probably not nearly as much as you think it is. By the time you spend
Yeah.
the gas and the anxiety of transporting it and keeping it in the right conditions, you could just put all the onus on them and just make sure when they deliver it, it shows up proper. So
Hmm.
definitely look into that. Look into that. Consider that. Um,
Yeah.
we had another one up here. I was gonna pull boom right here. He spoke about it earlier, but I just wanted to bring it back up so the chat could see it. And like he says, he has a zoysia in his front. Oh no, this is not the same person. This is a different one. You, uh, I wonder why don't you like your zoysia? What kind of zoysia do you have? But it will creep and it will overtake that fescue. The thing is, it moves slow. Um, but
I don't even see that comment over on the in the chat,
in
but
the chat,
I want to see. Hey, can you? What's that one?
uh, J91934. Can you see it? Can you not see it on the screen? It's not big
Yeah,
enough
I'm
for
reading
you.
it on the screen now. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
That's yeah.
There you go. I know Cam need glasses.
Mhm.
Nah, my screen bigger. That's all.
You got picture of some of the whole full screen, and I got this little. You know
Yeah,
how
my
it is
screen
when you're
bigger.
in interview mode. Is
Yeah. What I say? Oh man. But
trying
yeah, brother. I mean, that's I mean, that might be your only option to smoke it out, or just
oh yeah,
replace it with a
if
Zoysia
you
that you
trying to
actually
keep
like.
it, if you trying to keep it from creeping into your backyard, yeah, it's
It's
gonna it's gonna continue to want to do that.
especially if you have the right conditions for it in the backyard.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's going to do what it does, and fescue does not spread the way that zoysia does. Although zoysia moves slower than most of the warm season grasses, especially when you're comparing it against a bermuda, it's still going to overpower and overtake for sure. Um, Miss Mallory, Luckadoo. You got the luck? Let me have some, please. Um, Arkansas, Bermuda grass, and plenty of weeds. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. Now is a really good time, even in Arkansas,
Mm.
to go ahead and do your cleanup. To get, if you're not going to do it, you can hire that out, have someone come in, do a cleanup, and get a pre-emergent down now. You can go ahead and contact a turf care management company. If I was in Arkansas, you could contact me. You know, be willing to travel to a certain extent. But I would just find a reliable turf care management company, preferably one that's like small business owner. Try to stay away from The trucks that you see all the time, that's probably not the one you want.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's probably not the
If
one.
you see a lot of those trucks all the time, I would say try somebody else.
Yeah,
Find another.
yeah. Find another one because they're not gonna do you right. They don't have enough time to do you right, to be honest. And they hire these people. You know, they can go and study for a test, take it, but still not have the experience to properly do what they're supposed to be doing, which means they're looking at what the book says and or what their job told them they're supposed to do, and they're just going to do it. They're not going to ask any questions. They pass the test for liability reasons. The insurance company requires it, and then that doesn't mean they have the knowledge though. So you're going to be looking for that person that is out on their own, most likely doing their own thing, or is a small business owner
Small business. Yep.
that is really dedicated and committed, and you'll know this type of person because what they'll do is most of them will try to educate you. You know, whenever you have someone educating you and telling you you don't need this or you don't need that, that's probably your guy. That's probably your guy. This one's an interesting one. He came behind. He's looking for. Let me read it just in case you can't see it, Cam. I want a transition grass between pasture and dirt road. Lots of foot traffic. Good choice. Way south, warm season. First thing I'm thinking of is Bermuda.
Yep.
Now, he asked Centipede, and I'm going to tell you why you do not want to do this. Centipede won't take that beating like that. It's not going to recover well from a lot of foot traffic.
Mhm.
Although it doesn't require a lot, it's also not going to do a lot. And then once it gets damaged and you beat it down, it's not really truly going to recover the way that you need it
Mhm.
to recover.
Yep.
My, I have a client that's really rough on their yard. I am not even concerned because I know I'm about to scalp it down anyway. And when it comes back, like I'm not worried about crowns being damaged and stuff like that. The nature of it, it's going to come back, it's going to recover. So for a transition,
He
something
said
that
between pasture and what was
between
on the other side?
pasture and dirt road. So he must have he has a section where he's not growing anything,
Mhm.
but he wants to put something
Or
there.
maybe it's fenced off
Maybe,
where his pasture kind of stops, and then the dirt road that goes by, and you got
yeah,
that
yeah.
area in the middle. Yeah,
If you have full
Bermu-
sun,
Bermuda,
if you have full sun, I would go for Bermuda. What if he doesn't have full sun?
Georgia.
Yeah, I guess there are some that. You think St. Augustine might be more resilient?
Mhm.
No,
I don't want no parts of the daggone St.
I mean it's
Augustine, bro.
ugly, but this is just he's just using
But
it
then too,
to.
like when he say between pasture and dirt road, I'm thinking a lot, right? I'm
Yeah,
thinking like a lot of space, like a long strip or like a larger area. The only way you really get St. Augustine is like you gotta side most of that. Like so I wouldn't that's just my assumption from kind of what he described. But I think you just be easier off with like a Bermuda seed or sprigging it or a zoysia seed or sprigging something like that. I think you get a lot more. You've got more options, and then if he doesn't have full sun, that zoysia is more shade tolerant than the Bermuda. So kind of give you
I was thinking.
if he doesn't have that full sun.
I didn't want to say it until I got confirmation. You know, another one that'll do you well. That's low maintenance. If you don't care about what it looked like, that Bahia grass. And in
Yeah.
that order, that's what they have at this. What is this like a farmer thing? Farmer agriculture thing.
Bahia,
You got Bermuda.
another one is another one
Bermuda's
that we
number
don't
one.
do a lot
Zoysia's number
here.
two, and then Bahia number three. They
Oh,
didn't
go ahead
list
and
it.
repeat those again.
Number one is Bermuda. Number two is Zoysia. If you want a cleaner look, if you want a lower maintenance option, Bahia. Excellent roadside durability, tolerates poor soil, very drought tolerant, minimal input required. but it's ugly.
Yeah.
It's an ugly grass. But
One that we don't use much here in the States, and I'm not even sure if it's I can't say it's illegal, but I know a lot of people in the States don't really talk about it much.
the switchgrass.
I picked it up from Ben Lawn Tips in Australia, Buffalo
Buffalo
buffalo grass,
grass. Yeah. Isn't
buffalo
that what they
grass.
put in K31? Or no? Is buffalo grass? Is
Mm,
that warm season grass? Let me
it's
see.
a warm season grass, yeah. It's a
Ah,
warm season grass.
ah, interesting.
It's it's like a
It's
not
not a.
all the way centipede, not all
Uh,
the way St. Augustine.
yeah,
Um, it's like that. It's that something in between.
yeah, yeah. So where it's going to struggle at though, I can see where based off what it's saying, heavy foot traffic. Heavy
Mhm,
foot traffic is going to struggle. It doesn't require a lot. It's like it's got the best of both worlds for centipede. It is more resilient than centipede,
mhm.
and it's
It
very
looks bet
cheap.
it looks better than centipede
Looks
too.
better than centipede, and it's going to look better than Bahia too. But if let's say, from what I'm understanding, if low maintenance is the priority, go with Bahia. If durability and recovery is the most important, go with Bermuda.
And
Simple as
some
that.
aesthetic and some better aesthetics.
And some better aesthetics. PGR suppresses weeds also. Um, I I'd buy that for $1. I don't know if I've ever read that on a label, but I'm just thinking logically. Yeah, I could see like
It
certain
regulates
PGRs
it.
having an adverse effect on some of the weeds, and since you're getting some type of suppression out of it, um, whether or not it be on the label or not, I'm not sure, but the logic seems sound. What you think, Cam?
I could agree with that. I mean,
Yeah,
think about it. Yeah, think about Anu and Triv.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, great point. Great point. Yeah. Let me see. We got that one. We got that one. We got Tony in the building.
What up, Tony? What's happening?
What's going on? What's up, fellas? Almost missed the kickback because I put a chicken on the smoker. Let me get some. Let me get most of that. I don't want some. I want
Let,
most of that. Go ahead.
let me get a half a chicken.
Let me
Let me
get
get
a
a half
half
a
a
chicken.
chicken.
Let me
Half
get
a
a half a
chicken and some
chicken.
brochen. Half a chicken with brochen, like I'm back in Germany.
Let me get a half a chicken. Come on.
Oh man. So I'm not
What
sure
you
it was
running
here
on?
when I moved into the house. Spongy feeling to me. LOL turns brown way too early. I'm
That was a
good.
good combo.
On what?
On this comment right here, I think Professor Trio kind of popped in and kind of talk some knowledge on that one.
Okay.
Um,
I must have
but
missed the
yeah,
conversation.
I agree what they were talking about in the chat. Um, yeah, if it's that spongy
Oh,
feeling, if it's
yeah.
that spongy feeling, is time for. I mean, you need a scalp and verticut.
Yep.
That you got too much material there. You got a thatch. You got it's just too much material there, and yeah.
Yeah. If you get that done, you might like that. You might like that Zoysia more than that fescue, depending on what
Mm-hmm.
kind of Zoysia it is. Because right now it seems like it's probably just gotten away. Maybe it got tall, got too tall. It's too thick, never been thinned out, kind of like what we were talking about out here. And really, all you need is a good scalping and a little bit of thinning out and a whole lot of fur. And you be like, oh, okay, no, actually, this is okay. I like this. This feels like I'm walking on ground and not a wet uh,
Just
brioche bread. You know what I mean? Like that don't feel good on the feet. You know what I mean? Like you walking on some wet soggy bread. Yeah, 100%. Yes. Thank you for your question. Thank you for your question. Let me see if you. Okay. And this is the rest. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. You
hmm
took care of it. Thank you, Professor. Got a question. Tony, we got a lot of snow this year in upstate New York. Last year I had quite a bit and had to seed in spring. What tips do you have to avoid it once we thaw out? To avoid, so you had a lot of die off? Did that hold true? Little girl, you just scared the everlasting crap out of me. I, yeah, I know she got to come and say hi, which means mama's already sleeping. But
Rosie.
yeah. So what you got for this, Cam?
Uh,
And let's pull us back up to this one right here.
last year.
And let me pull the comment back up because I think what he's saying is he had a lot of loss, a lot of die off from last year. I hope you see it a little better.
Avoid it once we thaw out. Um,
Whatever's lost is most likely lost because of the traffic that happened while all that snow and ice was happening. Is the first thing I'm thinking of, right? You're
yeah,
probably
that
dealing with
or either
crushed and broken crowns. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So now you got to spot seed that. So the thing that I'm about to tell you is probably going to annoy you. Stay off the grass, but it's probably too late for that. you know? But it seemed like you were trying to cook something up too, Cam.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if he had to do a lot of seeding, I just don't know if the snow was the cause of it, right? Like was it potentially like just didn't establish enough before it went into winter and it just had overall winter die off
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't necessarily the snow portion of it that was driving the reason for the need to seed, right? And because a lot I mean that or either maybe it was snow mold and just didn't give it enough time to recover from it and just went on and reseeded some of those areas if it was a lot of snow.
Yeah, I'm
Because for
thinking.
me, I had more snow mold last year
Mm-hmm.
than I've never really seen snow mold in my lawn
Uh-huh.
until last year.
What was
My
different about
whole
last
thing,
year's season?
we had about what we are getting right now to
Okay.
where the lawn was covered in snow for about 3 weeks, and it just but it was slightly warm right before it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it snowed and the temperatures just dropped.
Mm.
And that was one of the things that kinda reading up on it, that's what I learned, is that if the soil temps themselves don't have a chance to really, really start dropping before you get that snow cover on top of it, it kind of traps some of that heat and moisture and everything underneath that snow insulation, and that's what breeds the fungus. Like that's what breeds the snow mold. So I'm gonna be honest. As long as my lawn's been covered under snow, and it's probably gonna be covered under snow for another probably week at least. It's probably gonna be under snow for like a month. I'm assuming I'm probably gonna have some pretty bad snow mold when it melts away. But we'll see.
Huh. Yeah. I'm still sticking with I like your take. My take is you think it's the snow, but it's probably the freezing and thawing and people or you walking over it that's causing the most damage. That's what I'm gonna go with. Um, and if here's the thing, one of us are right, or it might be a combination of both of them. But if the
Yeah.
snow typically insulates, and if it's
Yep.
insulating too much, I'm pretty sure that's probably what's encouraging those fungus spores to
Mhm.
develop.
Yep.
Because
That's what
again,
I'm
snow is more of an insulator, and now you've kept it blanketed over for a long extended period of time. Believe it or not, that actually helps it keep it warmer than you feel on the outside. So outdoor temperature is 20 degrees. That snow is actually protecting the grass from not being or feeling 20
Mhm.
degrees. It's actually
Yep.
warmer.
Which
Um,
is why I think this, and then I said it in a couple other shows. I think this snow cover is helping my iron cutter from these sub 20 degree, these
yeah,
single digit temperatures,
it should keep you from
and every
too much die off. Yeah, is
yeah,
what you're thinking? I hope that
yeah,
works out. I hope it works out just like that. But even with, I mean, shoot, that's two-folded, right? Because if that happens for the Bermuda, you're most likely going to see more snow mold
yeah,
damage in your yard.
yeah,
So it's like,
yeah. Which is what I'm honestly, that's my prediction.
we're gonna circle back to that to see. We're gonna circle
That's
back to that to
that's what
see.
I'm expecting. And I scrolled down in the chat. Tony did say snow mode. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I saw.
So
Yeah, I saw Tony. He said snow
yep.
mode. Yeah.
So yeah,
Um.
I think we're on the same. Yeah, I think we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
Um.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank you, Professor, for jumping in there and giving out solid advice. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people be in the chat just saying wild stuff. Not y'all, but in the chat in general, in the chat world. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's some solid information he gave you. So definitely follow his lead, J9. Um, if you real mower, it suppresses POA, etc. Trust me, it does. Um, I don't know because I'll tell you this: what I found about POA when I've seen POA in the yard, and I was real mowing late summer, early fall, because of the nature of the grass, it didn't really, and it probably had more to do with. Dang, I got the little thing pop up. What was
Where
that?
that come from? Like that's what I looked. I was like, where that come from?
I think I put a finger out throwing gang signs now. That was crazy. Okay.
I
I did
saw it
not.
come up. I saw it come up over here. I was like, "Yo, what is that?"
So I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Yeah. I mean, any high frequency cutting, mowing, feeding, and fertilizing is going to naturally
Yeah.
choke out and suppress weeds because your lawn is getting thicker. However, I've found it difficult, especially with the Hudson. I have to pay more attention to, with the Baroness because it might not be the case, but because of the texture of that blade, the real mower actually doesn't do a great job of cutting POA because of its nature of how it grows. It's clumpy, it's more waxy. I think the moisture content is higher in it. So I don't know if the real mower itself is suppressing the POA. I think real mowing responsibly at a higher rate and feeding is increasing the density of the lawn. And that's where you're seeing a suppression more POA than anything. Me personally, but I don't know. I'm sure there's a study out there on that, but there's nothing better than your own observations in your yard. And if it's working for you, keep doing it. You know what I mean? Don't pay me no attention.
And then too, I mean, I think one of the things with like saying real mowing, if you're real mowing, your frequency of cut is so much higher. Like
Yes.
your frequency of being out there mowing, it doesn't go to seed head for one, or you limit the amount. I'm not gonna say it doesn't. You limit the amount of seed head production. So now you limit the amount of spread of POA and future generation of POA that's gonna come up. Um, and I think it also keeps that POA at a, depending on what your grass type is,
Yeah.
underneath that canopy,
Yeah.
like to where it's not as even visible
Right.
for you to be able to see it.
Right. Like on golf courses. That's the only time I've seen. But even at golf courses, when I get on the green and I look, I'm like, that's POA, that's
Oh,
POA, that's POA.
you can
And
see a piece of POA.
it's
Yeah,
bigger than everything else. And I can
yeah,
tell when they go to cut it, the greens mower is not cutting that POA the same way as cutting
mhm.
everything else. But he already clarified. He said I meant using PGR while real mowing suppresses his POA. Absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Absolutely,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
100%. We
yeah,
already,
yeah,
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 like you
yeah,
said, we've seen what a
yeah,
new does on Poetriv. So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
or Poa in general. So, yeah, yeah, I'm with you on that for sure. Uh, yeah, back may have had fungus going into dormancy, and that's why you're getting so much loss. It's possible. Um, this is an observation that professor made. I've heard this take before. I don't remember where the studies were on it, but I've heard this take about, don't leave the lawns too high when you know you get a lot of snow because, your grass is going to lay on itself. And then that also increases and encourages your chances of dealing with snow mold. So I'll buy that for $1. I'd say that there's probably some truth to that.
Yeah, I think there's also I think there's a study out there. I remember Dr. Shattuck's covering that one, and I can't remember the results of that study.
Yeah. Yeah, me neither. Yeah. Dr. Shaddix, if you in the background, go ahead and drop it down. Put a link down there. If you in the back of the class, go ahead and drop it down there. Um, Tony, should I scrape any remaining snow as it gets warmer? I don't know. What do you think? Kent, what you
Yeah,
think?
I ain't got the energy for it. I hate snow. I hate moving the snow that I
But do
got
you think it
to
would
get.
help? I think that's what he's trying to get at. Like, could
Okay.
he increase his odds if he get? But here's the thing: if it's already been on there for like 2 months,
It,
bro, what's another 2 days? What's another
yeah,
week? You know?
yeah. I think at this point, if it's already been there as long as it's been there, the damage is done.
Mm.
Like the whatever the damage is gonna happen, whatever's gonna happen, it is there at this point.
Uh, he said, he said my lawn is 75% perennial rye and 25% snow mode. I kept it a 1.5 to 2.5 inches. Learned that lesson with snow mode 2 years ago. So yeah,
Yeah,
grassland on itself is never really good when you're dealing with grasses don't completely go dormant like a Bermuda per se. Because from
yeah.
my
He's
Bermuda,
Tony.
everything's getting
Tony's
cut off the
running.
top anyway.
Yeah, Tony switched over and started using some of the Elm Street Elite this year. I can't remember if he used any last year. Um, he's got a nice looking area too, and
Yeah.
he has reduced his height of cut.
Uh huh.
So I and Tony and for me, like even last year, I had all of that snow mold coming out, and that was with me cutting at my lowest height of cut. Like I think I was probably at like an inch and a half, maybe an inch and a half, 2 inches, like going into it at that point, and yeah, I came out with more snow mold than I had ever seen before in my lawn. So my thing with snow mold, it doesn't kill your lawn. Like it's not gonna kill it. Yes, it looks bad. Yes, that's not what we want to see. But I did absolutely nothing to my yard and the area that was just devastated with snow mold. All I did was mow it, clean it up a little bit, and just let it recover. It's not dead. Like most snow mold doesn't kill it. It looks terrible. I 100% agree with what you're looking at. It looks absolutely terrible, but just give it time, and for the most part, it does recover. Like I didn't have to do any extra seeding or anything in that area. That was just it looked horrible, and it recovered.
Ah, that's why, Tony. Yeah. All your snow melted away. You've been in the high 50s up to 70s for the past week or so. Make sure you're using the Greencast tool so you can keep track of your soil temperatures so you can make decisions based off that. And let's say, you know what else is a good indicator? Let's say you forget to do that, right? You forget, but You pay attention when you're walking around. When you see them forsythias starting to go off, dropping them blooms, start checking your soil temperatures. So nature will help you out on that, right? Once you see that forsythia start doing this thing, know wherever you are, it's about time for you.
It's go
So
time.
it's go time. So there you go. Boom. Look at that. First year with the Elm Street
Yeah, I think
Elite.
so. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah,
It has that GLS, the TLS, turf type tall fescue that can be cut near an inch, which was
yes,
why
sir.
he lowered his height of cut and such. So
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Go ahead, grab you some bags of that Elm Street Elite, people. I'm
Right,
trying to
get
tell
you
you.
back. Right, 65. I'm gonna love it, but weather creating problems. Yeah, it'd be like that, Slim. It'd be like that. Soon enough, though, it's gonna be so hot. We're gonna be ready for us to get right back to winter. That's what's about to happen.
I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I know y'all hype. I know y'all ready. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not there yet, y'all. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, 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 100%. But okay, that wraps it up. That's a full deck for tonight. We appreciate you being here. Hopefully, you learned something. We're gonna run back. We'll look at this. We'll clip it up for those people that don't have
Yeah.
a long attention span. We'll pull out the greatest parts on this, and then you'll see it released on our social medias. And are we gonna be here next week, Cam? What's next week? Let me see. We might not be here next week, y'all. We might take a bye week. Um, we'll let you know. We'll post
Yeah.
things. Things
Yeah.
are a little busy right now, but unless you
Yes,
see us
yes,
say that we're not going to be here, expect us to be here. Right now, I can't see my
yeah.
calendar. I can't see
Yeah.
my calendar.
We'll let y'all know as we always do, but
Mm-hmm.
if we not, we'll let you know ahead of time if we ain't gonna we ain't gonna be here.
Yeah, watch the community post. Okay. Thank y'all for being here. I hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed. What happened?
So Tony's a fool.
What is it?
He talking about Cam, you still getting over Big Mike being gone. I am. I
Big Mike.
am.
Big Mike.
Mike Tomlin from the Steelers.
Oh, gotcha. He know how to hit you where it counts.
My guy. Yes, I am. I am still struggling with that.
That's why you're not
I'm glad he
ready.
went out on it. I'm glad he went out on his own terms. I'm gonna put it to you like that. I think
Yeah.
Mike was just tired of he was fed up with the noise. He was fed up with all the noise. He said he wasn't listening to it, but he was tired of the noise from the city, from the fan base, from everybody else. And he just was like, all right, y'all want something else? I give you something else.
There you go.
Now let me see what happens.
There you go. Hey,
Yeah,
sometimes you gotta give people what they ask for.
exactly.
All right, people.
All right, y'all. I
We're gonna wrap it
appreciate
up.
y'all. We appreciate y'all. We gonna get up out of here. I'll let
Yeah.
y'all next week.
We working, baby. We working. I promise.
Each
Always
and
working.
every day.
I know y'all are too. All right. Y'all have a good night.
All right, y'all.